Here we are once again with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is a very interesting knife. This is the Kobayashi SG2 Gyuto 210mm knife. So there's a bit about this maker on the site, but he's done an excellent job with these. These are beautifully crafted knives. The construction on them is 3 layers. So you've got the hardcore center cutting steel, which is called SG2 stainless, which is very, very similar to the R2. So it's about a heat treat around 62 Rockwell typically. And again, the construction is 2 layers. You can pretty much see the layers right there. So there's the core steel from the edge. So you've got a softer stainless steel cladding on either side of that harder core steel. It does go over the top of the spine, which is highly polished. The weight and dimensions might be just a little different from knife to knife. On this style, they're probably going to be fairly similar, but this particular one is 139 grams or 4.9 ounces, so it's a light knife. Edge length is right about 210 on the money, or 8 1/4 inches on the cutting edge. The overall length with this handle is about 14 inches. Spine thickness, measured about 2 millimeters coming out of the handle, and then got about 1.8 halfway down. And then as you look, you'll see kind of a continuous taper as you get down towards the tip. And I don't know if you can see, bring it back in here. That tip's pretty doggone fine. Look at that tip on that thing. That is a thin tip. It's also thin at the edge. So these are laser style grinds on these babies. They are aggressively thin at the edge and at the tip. You've still got a fair amount of stiffness to the blade. It's a little stiffer than you might expect, probably because of the clad construction, but just, again, light, really high performance grinds on these. Great fit and finish out of the box. Blade height is about 46.5 millimeter, so it's just a good all-around height there. You can see the style of the choil is a fairly generous curve into a fairly wide neck on these. Still got lots of clearance though, but there's a nice comfortable spot for your finger right here for a pinch grip. The handle's unique. It's 7-sided, heptagonal, so there's an interesting bottom to it. There's not a flat facet on the bottom. And you can see it's pretty squarish in its dimensions. A little bit of a, I guess, a taper this way here. It's highly polished, lacquer-coated hardwood. Doesn't really say what, but it's got a really nice fit and finish on it. And tight handle install. It's cool handle. It's a neat looking handle. It's kind of a reddish tint to it. Very nice coloration on it. It's a little bit redder than the video might show, but handle circumference is about 70 millimeters back here where a ferrule would normally meet the main part of the handle. It's where I measure them. But the handle on there, it's a fairly light knife, so that the balance point is going to be back here. It's not a super light like a Howood handle. So there's your balance point. So it's definitely going to be a little handle heavy from a pinch grip point of view, not from a racket style grip point of view, but for a pinch grip, it's going to be a little handle heavy from a handling standpoint, but super light, super flickable, really good fit and finish. You've got highly polished rounded spine, highly polished, very high polish on the choil on both sides. Nice 6 out of maybe 7 out of 10 edge on it. Very well done grind on these things. See if I can kind of get a good beauty shot of it. So you've got hand chiseled kanji on this. You know, the hand engraved kanji really adds a cool touch, I think, on these knives. So it's a neat feature. You can see the machine finish on it. You can definitely see the edge steel showing up there. Again, a nice thin grind. So that's the right side of the blade. Here is the left side of the blade as you'd be using it. So just a really nice blade. The fit and finish is excellent. These are going to be great performing knives. You can see the tip is fairly high, so you've got a fairly aggressive belly on these. And you've got a bit of a flat towards the heel. And then we get a pretty aggressive sweep, so I can get really high on this thing before I start digging that tip in. So this will rock really nicely for you. A little bit of a flat towards the heel. Again, the front half has a fairly aggressive belly, so it'll be really nice for rocking, push-pull cuts, glide cuts, that kind of stuff. A little bit of a flattish area towards the back, but not super flat, but pretty good all-around profile. So just a neat package. So they look great. The performance is going to be super on these. So they are the Kobayashi SG2 Gyuto 210 millimeter.